Good evening. My name is Tracy Potter. I'm a candidate for the United States Senate in North Dakota. I'm a state senator here in Bismarck, and we're on my deck for the fourth in our series of Grillside Chats. Today I thought I'd talk a little bit about war and peace and my attitudes towards those. I am a firm believer in the Constitution. The Constitution gives Congress the right to declare war, but you know, we haven't declared war since 1941. Last time we declared war, and yet we've fought many of them since. They've been called police actions, or they've been allowed to take place under the War Powers Act, but none of them have been declared wars. And you know, I think probably if you can't figure out who you're declaring war against, maybe you ought to go. I opposed the war in Iraq from the time that George Bush started saber-rattling about it. It just never made any sense to me. I didn't believe that Saddam Hussein was a threat to the United States. Certainly a bad guy, a guy who shouldn't be in power or ruling anybody, and yet he was. But all around the globe there are people like that. There are rulers that we're not happy with. There are anti-democratic regimes. There's tyranny. There's trouble, and there has always been. And I'm in favor of democracy. I believe democracy ought to spread throughout the world. But it's probably not going to be spread by United States Marines intervening, because it seems to me that often we create more enemies than we earn friends when we do these things. When we went into Iraq, it was a great recruiting tool for Al-Qaeda. They found terrorist networks all over the Muslim world who were happy to join in, because you could see that America was attacking their Muslim brethren, you know. And we go in with the best of intentions, we really do. And our soldiers are the finest in the world. They're not ruthless as some other nations are. They're skilled. They're patriotic. They're wonderful guys and women, and we should protect them from being sent on missions that are not appropriate. And Iraq was certainly one of those. Now it is winding to a close. I hope a good conclusion. Certainly the government in Iraq, people having a right to vote, is better than what they had under Saddam Hussein. But at what price to our nation? What price to America? We've paid for this. Actually, we haven't paid for it. We put it on our grandkids' credit card. And that's another problem with the way that this has been prosecuted in the past. Afghanistan's a slightly different story. There was more reason for us to be there. For one thing, the Taliban government of Afghanistan had supported the Al-Qaeda through a corrupt bargain. They had figured out how to, they supported the attack on us on 9/11. And it was a good thing that we supported the Northern Alliance as they threw the Taliban out and installed Karzai in a form of Republican government, you might say, in Afghanistan, although of course it is notoriously corrupt and inefficient and not able really to take care of the people of Afghanistan very well. You know, we've been there 10 years. This is too long. Our army is capable of going anywhere, kicking open any door, and winning any fight. But what we're not capable of doing is occupying people who don't want to be occupied. It doesn't earn friends. It doesn't do very well. And that's where we are in Afghanistan today. Now, I give the president room. He submitted more troops, made a troop surge over there, has changed generals, and said, we're going to try to figure out how to stabilize this country. And then we're going to start removing troops in June of 2011. Let's hold him to that. And that's the position that I would take in the United States Senate. Let's hold him to that. We've got to withdraw our troops from these war zones, and from zones where we just can't afford to keep them anymore. Why do we have 15,000 Marines on Okinawa? Well, who are they defending Okinawa from? What's the point there? Why do we have troops in Germany? Who are they defending Germany from? What's the threat? Why are American taxpayers asked to, and not even American taxpayers, but American taxpayers' grandchildren again, why are they being asked to pay for policing the world? I believe that we have to start making some cuts. And this is one of the places where I'd start cutting. Say, Let's bring the troops home. Anyway, that's the fourth in our series of Grillside Chats. Talking about war and peace. I've gone on a little bit longer than I normally do. You know, and before I conclude, I'll say one more thing. It's not about the past wars. It's not about Vietnam. It's not about the Gulf Wars. It's not about that. It's about the next war. And that's where you need someone in the United States Senate who's willing to stand up and call them out when they start lying to us, when they start telling us that there are weapons of mass destruction over there, or we should be afraid of these people over there, or for some reason of national security we need to intervene. If it's truly a matter of national security, yes. If it's not in our nation's interests, or it's only in our nation's financial interests or oil interests or something like that, now I'm going to stand up and I'm going to cry. I'm going to say, no, we can't do that. I'm going to stand up for the people of North Dakota, the people of the United States. I'm going to stand up for peace. Tracy Potter.